Data pertumbuhan ekonomi Indonesia yang dirilis pekan lalu menunjukkan perlambatan dibandingkan dengan kuartal kedua sebelumnya. Ekonomi di kuartal ketiga hanya mengalami pertumbuhan sebesar 5,62% dibandingkan periode yang sama tahun lalu. Pertumbuhan melambat dibandingkan dengan pertumbuhan ekonomi kuartal kedua lalu yang berada di level 5,81%. Terhadap perlambatan yang terjadi pada pertumbuhan ekonomi Indonesia ini, menurut Norel Robini, dipicu dua masalah inti seperti perlambatan ekonomi China dan jatuhnya harga-harga komoditi global. Untuk mempercepat kembali ekonomi Indonesia, Robini menyarankan langkah-langkah strategis yang patut pemerintah dan investor jalankan. Berikut adalah langkah-langkah strategis yang dapat pemerintah dan investor jalankan. Pertama, mempercepat pembangunan infrastruktur di sektor telekomunikasi dan sektor energi.
First of all, the country has to accelerate infrastructure spending in communication, in power, in the road network. And as the minister was pointing out, the new land bill is going to make sure that the procurement and the clearing of land for infrastructure projects is not subject to significant delays.
Kedua, pemerintah harus mendorong private investment.
Secondly, the country will have to include policies to boost private investment, because only if the investment to GDP ratio rises further, potential growth is going to go from 6 to 7%. Some of this investment is going to be private, some of it is going to be public, some of it is going to be joint private-public partnership to do infrastructure and other ones.
Ketiga, perbaikan dalam regulasi pasar dan upah buruh.
Third of all, you need to reduce labor market rigidities and reduce also the amount of labor strife to make sure that the growth of wages doesn't become excessive and in excess of labor productivity growth.
Keempat, mengembangkan sektor perdagangan dan investasi.
Fourth, the country will have also to make sure to have an even more open and predictable trade and investment regime. Certainly the country has this correct goal of moving up the value chain. Exporting only raw material that are not processed doesn't give as much value added than having raw material that are being processed. But in doing that, phasing in those restrictions to the exports of raw material should be done only gradually over time, because if it was done all at once, then the reduction in export could be actually damaging of economic activity. So moving up the value chain is an appropriate economic objective, but I would say should be phased in over the medium term.
Kelima, pemberantasan korupsi.
Five, the country will have to do even more in terms of fighting corruption. Every country in the world, including the United States where I live and work, has issues of corruption. There is corruption in China, and certainly Indonesia has done more, cracking down against corruption, going after even senior officials in the last few years. More work will have to be done in that direction.
Keenam, penyederhanaan birokrasi dalam berbisnis.
Six, you have to improve the ease of doing business. You have to simplify regulations and improve the quality of regulation. This agreement that probably there is too much bureaucratic red tape that restricts private investment in the economy.
Ketujuh, mengimplementasikan good corporate governance.
Seventh, other policies to strengthen corporate governance and transparency are going to be also important to further incentivize the increase of foreign direct investment.
Kedelapan, mengalokasikan biaya di sektor pendidikan dan infrastruktur publik.
8, the country needs to do more social spending, especially on education and healthcare and the provision of a bunch of other public services. To do it and maintain sound fiscal policy, the country will have further to reduce energy subsidies. So if you can reduce energy subsidies, you'll have more money to invest into public education, into healthcare, into public infrastructure.
Kesembilan, memperdalam fungsi pasar finansial khususnya perbankan untuk mendorong sektor swasta.
Ninth, there is still more room to do to deepen capital markets and the banking system to boost the private sector growth and investment and provide credit to the private sector.
Dan yang terakhir, melengkapi sumber daya manusia dalam hal berinvestasi.
And last but not least, the country will have to do more in terms of investment into human capital. education and skills of the young people and the labor force, because in the long run, even more than physical capital, even more than infrastructure capital, the human capital is one of the main drivers of long-term economic growth. Indonesia has made strides in this direction, but certainly the quantity and quality of especially tertiary education at university level should be increased to be comparable to the one of other advanced economies and emerging markets.
Rubini juga beranggapan negara-negara berkembang seperti Indonesia berpotensi besar untuk memiliki pertumbuhan ekonomi yang lebih cepat dibanding pertumbuhan ekonomi di Eropa. Dan menurutnya pertumbuhan ekonomi Indonesia tahun 2014 diprediksi bisa mencapai 6%.